I can imagine people are going to go apeshit if I don't mention this at the beginning of this video, but this is not new footage of me playing Modern Warfare 3. This is some old-ass footage from well over a year ago that I found on my hard drive that I'm just using as decoration in the background to make a point in this video. So no, I have not gone back to this piece of shit. This is seriously old footage just being used because I haven't received any Black Ops 2 footage that I could use for upcoming videos in the series. But anyways, let's get something out of the way first before people go twisting words and having an e-penis argument over this fucking topic. Call of Duty did not invent kill streaks and perks. Call of Duty was not the first shooting game to give players rewards for kills and shit. And it did not give them items and abilities to make their characters stronger in fights. Call of Duty just happens to be defined by these two things more than anything. When you think of Call of Duty games, you think of how you load out your characters, how many kills you need for the next kill streak, what cheap shit you have to worry about from other players. No other shooter is defined by those standards. Not Halo, not Battlefield, not Killzone, Gears of War, SOCOM, Counter-Strike, fucking My Little Pony Strikes Back. None of these fucking games are defined by kill streaks and perks the way Call of Duty is. That being said, the perks are fucked up. Not even the great Call of Duty 4 can claim to having a perfect perk system. It had its share of bullshit. Martyrdom, Juggernaut, Last Stand, just to name a few. Sure, some other games have improved their perks, or in the case of Modern Warfare 2, they made them absolutely terrible. But I have the perfect solution on how to fix all this bullshit. Right now in Black Ops 2, how many perks do you have to counter enemy tactics? Now, think about this for a second. How many are made because you have to worry about what other players are doing in the game? Plus, they had to break all those shits out into different categories to prevent people from loading up with overpowered shit. Treyarch games always seem to attempt to balance out the perk tiers. Yet somehow they always manage to fuck that up. I don't understand how you set out to do something and you always make it worse every fucking game. They always manage to do that shit. Infinity Ward doesn't even try. They just say, fuck it. Here are some umpteen fucking perks in any goddamn order. Go out there, find out what works, what doesn't work. We don't give a shit. You can kill each other, whatever the fuck you want. We're not looking for balance because we don't give a shit. Between the two of them, there's no happy medium. There's no common ground on how to maintain some kind of balance in this game. So I sat down and I started thinking about how I would classify my perks in these tiers. What is it about Call of Duty 4 that made the game feel balanced? And obviously, the first thing that pops up in anyone's head is going to be Stopping Power. Stopping Power was by far the most popular perk because it was something everyone wanted to use to kill quick. Sure, Juggernaut was used, UAV Jammer was also there, but Stopping Power was the main perk of the game that any decent player who played for kills would use on their characters. When you look at perk 1 and perk 3 that was in the game, you could pick any one of those things. You could go with Dead Silence, you could go with Bandolier, you could go with Frag 3, you could go with the RPGs. There was all kinds of things that you could use in the game that people like to use. Secondly, of course, Martyrdom was there. Oh god, that stupid shit. Martyrdom and Last Stand. But anyway, when you looked at Stopping Power in perk 2, it dominated the choice selection. There's no question about that. That also happens to be the downside of the perk. Since it was so widely used, it was almost a no-brainer that people will take that perk. They wanted to hit harder. They wanted to get more kills. And finding perks to place it in the tier was the problem. So when I thought about adding Stopping Power, I had to think about, what do I want to put in with Stopping Power? Will I just accept that Stopping Power will be the most used perk in the game and put all shitty perks in the game just to say, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna hide these shits? You know, pull an Infinity Ward where you throw cheap shit next to it so that nobody else will ever fucking use the damn thing? Or do you place it in a tier with the most popular perks? Do you place it in a tier that makes people have to make a hard selection as to what they want to use? I mean, just imagine this. Imagine Stopping Power, a radar avoiding perk, a blind eye type perk, Sleight of Hand, Scavenger, and Extreme Conditioning all in one category. Imagine how hard it would be to select your perk from that tier. I mean, think about it, man. Imagine having to sacrifice Sleight of Hand or Scavenger. I can't imagine doing that. And that was part of Treyarch's logic a few years ago in Black Ops 1, to remove Stopping Power, to force people to play with all the different perks as opposed to relying on that one powerful perk. So as much as I would love to see Stopping Power back, we all know it would be used as a crutch. And I'm not talking about a crutch, oh, bad kids have to use it. It's just that whatever falls into that category, it's always going to be secondary to having a perk that kills it a lot quicker. Sure, you can kill without it, but why pass up that chance to use one extra bullet? You know what I mean? Especially with lag compensation. Stopping Power was great back in the day, but we've evolved so much further past that, which means that UAV jamming would have to be balanced somehow, right? It means UAV avoiding perks just have to be eliminated altogether, right? Just when I was about to remove my UAV avoiding perk, it hit me. It was like a motherfucking epiphany or something. Why am I staying with Call of Duty's tier system, where I box myself into moving perks around? How about I think outside of this box? How about I think outside of this tier? How about I remove this goddamn 3-tier perk system? How about we stop this fucking charade of sorting all these god-awful perks into categories that somehow balance the game, as opposed to just giving people as many options as possible in this game? How about for the first time in this series, we stop restricting people on how to create their characters because we're so fucking worried about cheap perks? How about we just remove all the cheap shit and give people the option to choose whatever the fuck they want? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Remove the 3-tier system completely. The idea that I have now is to give people the option to choose any 3 perks they want. No categories, no matchup of perks, no fuck-ups. Give people the choice of 9 balanced perks and allow them to load up their character any fucking way they want. And I'm going to get into the full details of the 9 perks that I would add in the next video, because I couldn't do it in this video, otherwise it should be like a 2-hour video. And I know what people are thinking right now. I know people are thinking, is this some bitch crazy? Allowing people to pick all the cheap or overpowered shit without any restriction? Of course not, because I'm fucking smarter than those assholes at Infinity Ward and Treyarch. Fuck them. Do you see their video ideas getting praised when they roll out their brand new games and their perks and all that shit? Oh, fuck no, man. All the comments on Treyarch and Infinity Ward videos say the same thing. Same shit, different day. Every fucking comment. Here's the thing. The past 2 games, both developers have already given us this kind of freedom. In Modern Warfare 3, we had the specialist system. You start off by choosing your 3-tiered perks, then you unlock all the shit as long as you get more points and kills and whatever the fuck until you have every single perk in the game. Shit, every fucking perk at one time on a character was fucking awesome. Now, doesn't that sound like some overpowered shit? Treyarch decided they were going to give us these wildcard shits with perk greed or whatever the fuck it is called in Black Ops 2. So you space out the perks, but you allow people in the game to have 4, 5, or 6 perks anyway. And I know what people will say, well, that uses up a spot in the pick 10 system. So what? There's still 6 fucking perks on a character all game long. At least in Modern Warfare 3, you had to earn that shit. Here, you could just have the motherfuckers. Fuck all that shit. Simplicity works best. Give people 9 perks and make them choose 3 of them. Of the 9 perks, I pretty much use some of the better Call of Duty perks from the past and present. I also altered a few cool perks that have been out and I want to fix them and tweak those shits. And I decided I was going to roll out a couple of touches of my own just to make these shits feel fucking special. The 9 perks that I'm going to talk about in the next video are Sleight of Hand, and yes, it's going back to being a fucking perk where it belongs, because these cunt buckets over at Treyarch think a fucking dual clip on a gun. Oh, you know what, don't even get me started on this shit. I'm not even going to get into that bullshit. Anyways, Sleight of Hand is making its return as a perk, along with Scavenger, Dead Silence, Tactical Mask, and Extreme Conditioning. I'm also going to be adjusting how Tactical Mask works. Marksman will return to my game, except I plan on tweaking that shit completely. I like what it does, but as we know in Modern Warfare 3, that shit has some bullshit. Sabotage is my version of sit rep, and again, I'm going to give this one a major tweak. Sort of like Tactical Mask, we're also going to change what Sabotage does. Focus is going to be a power similar to Toughness in Black Ops 2, but it's going to be much more complex. And finally, a new perk that has never been used in Call of Duty before called Hunter. Again, full details of these perks are going to be in the next video. For now, we're just focusing on the elimination of the tiers, because that's all I have fucking time for. Now, of these 9 perks I just listed, what wasn't mentioned? Think about it. What didn't you hear? Hardline is gone. Avoiding radars as a perk was not mentioned. It's in the game. It's not gone, but I didn't mention it as one of the 9 basic perks. Blind Eye is gone, and I've replaced that with something a whole lot more reasonable in this fucking game. And of course, no Martyrdom, Second Chance, Commando, Danger Close, Flak Jacket, none of that bullshit. No perks specifically designed for bullshit or as a complete counter what the other team is doing. I got rid of all that crap. The more Infinity Ward and Treyarch try to alter and tweak their perks and tiers, the more they begin to look like a fat girl trying to squeeze all her junk into a pair of jeans 2 sizes too small. The tiers have not created balance. They have not created a sense of fairness when you can continue to play like a dick if you wanted, because some of these perks are just always fucking horrible. Now, I want to make this shit clear. Just because I remove the tiers doesn't mean there won't be assholes in the game who play cheap. We know that. There are always going to be assholes who are going to find 3 perks, remain in the corner, sit in the fucking corner, post up and avoid objectives. We know that because people don't know how to play this fucking game. I can only fix Call of Duty so much. I can't fix stupidity. If I could fix stupidity, I would be fucking rich. Because I would get all the money of the people that are fucking stupid. That's how we would do this, motherfucker. But the fact is, just eliminating this tier system is not going to change how an asshole plays the game. Sure, they're going to find something that allows them to be an asshole. We can't always control that. But what we can control is how much of an asshole they can be in return. The fact is, if Call of Duty wants to create the ultimate first-person shooter game right now, they have to take a leap of faith and remove the tiers. If you had the confidence in your perks, if you had the confidence in that they were expertly crafted, then you wouldn't have to worry about shit being too overpowered, am I right? You wouldn't have to worry about one perk ruling them all, sort of like how stopping power used to do, or one perk that literally does everything for you in the game like Ghost or Assassin. But the fact is, this tier system is fucking over the game regardless, because all we're doing is continuing to allow bad perks to be in the game in the first place, allowing people to take those shits regardless of what you put it next to or how you try to monitor it. It's still a fucked up perk. So here's the idea. Get rid of the tiers, and in the next video, we're actually going to talk about the 9 perks and how they're going to work. But anyway, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And yes, very next video in the Blueprint series, we're going to talk about my 9 perks and how I laid these motherfuckers out.